Once, a long time ago, there was a boy named Daniel. He lived in a special city called Jerusalem. It was God's city. Daniel loved God with his whole heart. He talked to God every day. But one day, something very sad happened. A big, powerful king named Nebuchadnezzar came from a faraway land called Babylon. His army was huge and strong. They marched right into Jerusalem and took over. They broke down the beautiful walls and captured many people. Daniel was one of them. He was just a young man, but the king's soldiers took him and his friends far away from their homes. Now, Daniel was in Babylon. It was a strange and glittering city, full of tall buildings and golden statues. But it wasn't home. Everything was different. Poor Daniel. He missed his home. He missed his family. But even though he was miles and miles away from everything he knew, he didn't forget the most important thing. He didn't forget God. He knew that even in this big, scary new place, God was still with him. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted the smartest and strongest young men from Jerusalem to work for him in his palace. He looked at Daniel and his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, and he saw that they were special. The king gave them new names to make them sound like they belonged in Babylon. He called them Belteshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. The king thought, I will teach them everything we know in Babylon. I will make them wise and strong, and they will help me rule my kingdom. So Daniel and his friends began a new life in the king's giant fancy palace. They learned the language of Babylon. They read the books of Babylon. They studied the stars just like the wise men of Babylon. It was like going to a new school, but a very strange one. But there was one part of Daniel that the king could never change. It was the part deep inside that loved God more than anything. It was a secret, quiet place in his heart where he and God would meet. No king, no palace, and no strange new name could ever take that away. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted to be very kind to his new helpers. He said, "These young men will be my special guests. They will eat the very best food. They will eat the same food I eat, right from my own table. And they will drink the same wine I drink." Now, this sounded like a wonderful treat. The king's food was rich and delicious. But there was a problem, a big problem for Daniel. You see, the king's food had been offered to his pretend gods, the idols made of gold and stone. Eating that food would be like saying those gods were real. It would be like breaking a promise to the one true God. Daniel knew what he had to do. He went to the guard who was in charge of him. He was very polite and brave.
Please, sir, don't make us eat the king's special food. It would make our hearts sad and go against our God.
But the king will be so angry. If you don't eat his food, you will look weak and sick, and then the king will have my head.
The guard liked Daniel, but he was scared of the king. Daniel had a secret plan, though. It was a plan that came from trusting God.
Let's just try this for 10 days, he said. For 10 days, just give us vegetables to eat and water to drink.
Don't give us any of the king's rich food or wine. At the end of the 10 days, you can look at us. Compare us to the other young men who are eating the king's food. The guard thought about it. 10 days wasn't so long. It seemed like a fair test. So he agreed. So for 10 days, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego ate only vegetables and drank only water. They prayed to God and trusted him to take care of them. And what happened? Did they get skinny and sick? Oh no. At the end of the 10 days, the guard came to check on them. His eyes opened wide with surprise. Daniel and his friends looked healthier and stronger than all the other young men. They were glowing with health. God had blessed them. He had shown everyone that trusting him was better than eating the richest food from a king's table. From then on, the guard let them eat their simple food, and God gave them wisdom and made them 10 times smarter than anyone else in the kingdom. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. It wasn't a nice dream. It was a scary, confusing dream that shook him to his bones. He woke up, heart pounding. He couldn't remember the details, but he knew it mattered. He called for all his wise men. He called for his magicians. He called for his stargazers.
"I had a dream," the king boomed. "It has troubled me very much. You must tell me the dream and its meaning."
"O king, live forever," they said. "Tell us the dream and we will tell you its meaning."
The king grew stubborn and angry. "No!" he shouted. "If you are truly wise, tell me the dream itself. If you can't, you're fakes. I'll have you cut into pieces."
The wise men were terrified. "No one on earth can do that," they cried. "Only the gods, and they don't live here."
The king ordered all the wise men in Babylon found and executed, including Daniel and his friends.
The captain of the guard came for Daniel. Daniel remained calm. He asked, "Why is the king so angry? What is going on?"
Daniel didn't panic. He knew who could help. He went to Shadrach, he went to Meshach, he went to Abednego.
"We need to pray," he said. "We must ask our God, the God of heaven, to show us mercy. We must ask him to reveal the king's secret dream so we won't be killed."
So they bowed their heads and prayed with all their hearts. They asked God to rescue them. They put all their trust in him. That very night, while Daniel rested, God did something amazing. God gave Daniel a vision. God showed Daniel the exact same scary dream. A giant shining statue, head of gold, chest of silver, belly of bronze, legs of iron, feet of iron mixed with clay, a rock, not cut by human hands. The rock smashed the statue to pieces. God explained the dream to Daniel.
Daniel was overjoyed and thankful. He praised God. "You have all wisdom and power. You reveal deep and hidden things."
Now he had the answer. He could go to the king. Many years passed. King Nebuchadnezzar was gone. A new king named Darius ruled Babylon. King Darius liked Daniel very much. Daniel was old now, with white hair. He was the wisest. He was the most honest man in the whole kingdom. The king trusted him completely. He put Daniel in charge of everyone else in the kingdom, right under the king himself. This made the other leaders and governors very jealous. They didn't like that Daniel was so special. They grumbled and whispered, "We have to find something wrong with this Daniel." These sneaky men watched Daniel very, very closely. They watched him while he worked. They checked all his reports. They looked for any mistake, but they couldn't find anything. Daniel was too good at his job. He was honest. He was careful. He worked hard for the king. The jealous men got frustrated. Then one of them had a wicked idea. "We will never find anything wrong with the way he works," he said. "The only way we can trap him is to use his God against him." The men went to King Darius with a very tricky plan. They bowed low and flattered him. "O King Darius, live forever," they said. "We have all agreed that you should make a new law, a royal decree. For the next 30 days, no one in the whole kingdom is allowed to pray to any god or any man except to you, O mighty king. And if anyone breaks this law, they must be thrown into the den of lions." King Darius thought this was a wonderful idea. He liked being praised. He didn't realize it was a trap for his friend Daniel, so he signed the law. When Daniel heard about the new law, what do you think he did? Did he hide? Did he stop praying? Did he pray quietly in his head so no one would know? No. Daniel went home. He went upstairs to his room, where the windows were open, pointing toward his faraway home of Jerusalem. Just like every single day, 3 times a day, he got down on his knees, he bowed his head and he prayed to God, he gave thanks to God. He didn't do it to be a show-off. He did it because his heart belonged to God. The jealous men were watching. Of course they were. They peeked through the window and saw Daniel on his knees praying to God. "We've got him," they whispered excitedly. They rushed back to the king. The king's heart sank. He felt a terrible sadness. He had been tricked. He realized the law was a trap for his most trusted friend. The king spent the rest of the day trying to find a way to save Daniel. With a heavy heart, the king gave the order. His soldiers brought Daniel and took him to the lion's den. It was a deep, dark pit full of hungry, roaring lions. The king looked at his old friend Daniel with tears in his eyes. He felt so helpless, but he had seen how faithful Daniel was. He said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully all the time, rescue you." Then the soldiers lowered Daniel down into the darkness. A huge stone was rolled over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own special ring. Daniel was all alone in the pit. It was dark. It was scary. All he could hear was the growling of the big cats. But Daniel wasn't really alone, was he? No, God was with him right there in the den. God sent an angel. The angel went to each lion and gently shut its mouth. The lions, which had been roaring with hunger, suddenly became as calm as sleepy kittens. King Darius did not sleep that night, not one wink. He went back to his palace, but he refused to eat. He sent away the musicians. As soon as the first tiny bit of light appeared in the sky, the king jumped out of bed. He didn't even wait to get properly dressed. He rushed out to the lion's den. His voice was full of sadness and worry as he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, Has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" But then, a voice. It was Daniel's voice, and it was calm and strong. "O king, live forever," Daniel called out. "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me at all because I was found innocent in his sight." The king was so happy he could have shouted for joy. "Get him out! Get him out of there right now!" the king commanded. His servants quickly rolled the heavy stone away and lowered ropes down to Daniel. Everyone crowded around to look at him. They checked him from head to toe. They could not find a single scratch on him, not one little bite mark, not even a tear in his clothes. Then King Darius became very, very angry. He was angry at the wicked men who had tricked him. He ordered that the jealous men who had accused Daniel be brought to the lion's den. After Daniel was saved, King Darius wrote a new letter. He sent it to all the people in his giant kingdom, to every nation, every language. The letter said, "I make a new law. In every part of my kingdom, people must fear the God of Daniel, respect the God of Daniel, for he is the living God. He lives forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed. He performs amazing signs and wonders. He rescues, he saves. He is the one who rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." Daniel's story is like a bright light showing us the way. It's a story about a forever hero, not because Daniel was perfect, but because the God he trusted is perfect. Daniel teaches us that no matter where we are, comfortable home, strange, scary place, God is always with us. He never leaves. We can talk to him anytime, just like Daniel did. Prayer isn't just for special times, it's for every day. It's like breathing for our hearts. It's how we stay close to God and remember that he is in charge of everything, not us. We also learn from Daniel about quiet courage. His courage didn't come from being loud or being strong on his own. It came from a deep-down trust. God was bigger than any king, any law, any lion. He chose to obey God even when it was dangerous. He stood up for what was right, and he did it with a gentle and respectful heart. He honored the kings he served, but he loved his God more. This is the kind of courage God gives us when we put him first. It's a courage that says, "I will trust you, God, no matter what happens." So when you feel scared, when you must choose between easy and right, you can remember Daniel. You can remember the boy who said no to the king's food. You can remember the man who prayed by his open window. You can remember the old man who was safe in the lion's den. His story is not just a story from long ago, it's a promise that the same God who shut the lions' mouths for Daniel is with you right now. He is your rescuer, he is your helper, and if you trust him with your whole heart, he will give you a forever courage too. Final triumphant moment with music swelling.